my name is Michael Fine, and welcome to Envision Tech's third CSS lesson on link styles. These are actual style attributes that you can apply to links. The reason you have more than one is because you can apply different style attributes to different link states. Basically, you can make a link look different based on what the user does. That's essentially the key concept of this video. Now, it has three states, a link. It has a normal state, which we use this in CSS syntax. A stands for the anchor tag. The semicolon specifies the state. And you include this link to signify the normal state. When it's not being clicked on, when it's not being hovered over, when it hasn't been visited. So yeah, I'll just write down normal state. And just a reminder, I will probably release this text file soon. So if you need to take notes on this, you can. The next one is the visited state, and as you can probably tell, this is the state in which a link has already been visited. The next one is the hover state. I'm copying the syntax for you. This is the state in which the link is currently being hovered over, like when the user's cursor is on the link, like what I'm doing right now. And the final state is the active state. Oops. And this is the state in which a link is currently being clicked. When I'm actually clicking on the link and it's taking me there, that's the state which is the active state. There's actually an order to this. Some attributes can't come after others, and some have to come after others. The order, to simplify things, the order is basically this. This is the order. Always remember this. So let me show you how this looks in practice. So we have our HTML file. First thing, link the actual CSS style sheet that I've made. This is currently empty. I've called it CSS lesson3.css. And quick reminder, the link tag doesn't actually have a closing tag. It doesn't need it. First you do rel style sheet. You need a rel attribute. And finally, you need an href attribute, or the actual file path. In this case, since it's in the same folder and directory, well, in the same folder with the HTML file, we can just paste in the title of the CSS file along with the extension. Don't forget the extension. And that should be it. It links to this. Now let's make our actual link attribute. Let's call it sample link. Sorry, it won't be called sample link, but it'll actually write sample link for the link. And now what we need to do is type in href and the link. The link I've prepared is the Wikipedia page for HTML. I paste it in, VS Code finds it. That's good. Let's see what the actual page looks like. This is using live server, by the way. Okay, we have our own link, and as you can see in the bottom left, it leads to the Wikipedia page for HTML. Yeah. You can see it's being hosted correctly. Now let's get into the CSS. I'm just going to copy this. Now in its normal state, let's make the text have the color, not end color, color black. That's fine. When it's been visited, let's actually use a different attribute called background color and set that to blue. That'll do. And the actual color of the text to red or crimson, because those colors are opposites and they'll be seen easily. If it's currently being hovered over, let's set the background color of the element that is. It's essentially what I'm highlighting now. That background will be set to that certain color. You'll see when we display it. Let's set it to dark green. Yeah, it'll do. And when it's currently being clicked, let's set both the background color to, oh, I don't know, aqua. And the color to blue violet. Now, this doesn't work. I'll give you a few seconds to figure out why. Pause the video. Okay, so the reason it doesn't work is because in CSS, every time you have multiple elements, you need a semicolon. That way, the website, or sorry, the web browser that's actually looking at your code knows where one style attribute ends and the other begins. Without that intermediary semicolon, it can't tell. That means that this semicolon is optional. It would still work without it, but it's best practice to include it. Just in case you realize you want to add another style attribute. We should save that. And let's see the differences. If I go to our link, yeah, as you can see, it's somewhat red. Oh yeah, that's because I visited it. If I hover over it, you can see that the background turns green, which is exactly what I wanted. Let's click on it. Yeah, suddenly it's turned blue and purple. Because I've already visited it, it appears as though it's defaulting to its visited state. So I don't think I'll be able to show you the resting state unless I stop hosting and rehost. But you've seen how these work, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Just keep in mind this order and all of this syntax. Anyway, I hope to see you again in the next video. Goodbye.